So there's really one core practice that separates the mediocre online instructor from the excellent online instructor, and it's creating and maintaining an instructional rhythm. So we talked about this in the first video, but we're going to get into a little more detail here. So I'm going to go through three practices for building this instructional rhythm. First one is just getting it into your calendar. I love what Peter Drucker says in his book. I think it's Managing Oneself. He says, to be effective, every knowledge worker, and teachers are knowledge workers, and especially every executive needs to be able to dispose of time in fairly large chunks. To have small dribs and drabs of time at his disposal will not be sufficient, even if the total is an impressive number of hours. And I think this really points to the idea of doing focused work. I like to work in even 25-minute focused segments. I find that I can get a lot more done. And I might have 3 of those kind of back to back where I do, I focus on some discussions for a while, email for 25, 30 minutes, and then I kind of wrap things up and plan what I'm going to do next for the next 25. But having a good solid hour, 2 hours to focus on the course is going to be a lot more powerful than just, when something comes up on your phone, responding to it, checking email kind of sporadically throughout the week. So first, you want to align your calendar with the online discourse. So if you've got like online forums, discussion forums, where students are posting at different times, let's say they post by Wednesday, then I find that the best time for me to communicate are as those are coming in on Wednesday and then early on Thursday. So I may have a chunk of time kind of on both of those days. Align your calendar to provide timely feedback. So I tell this to folks all the time, don't be a victim to grading. And that starts with, on major course assignments, giving feedback, really blocking some significant time right after they turn in their assignments. So if they turn in their assignments on April 2nd, I'm in there on April 3rd or 4th, and I've got larger blocks of time focused, sequestered for that. I also like to reward myself because grading can be very time intensive and require a lot of cognitive demand. So I will get some chocolate or coffee, anything that's going to really help me with that. And then align your calendar with critical communication points. So thinking through times in the semester or term, however your course is structured, where students are kind of be at a low point. So institution where I am, midterm and towards the end of the semester, these are places where students they really need to be studying or may need more help on larger assignments. So I try to make myself available. I try to be more encouraging in my tone, give them tips, I think in my communication, like regularly saying, hey, I'm available. This is when I've set aside time to be available to you. I will get back to you. Please, pull on me. I'm your teacher. Practice number 2 is note the times in your term in the course when students need your feedback on major coursework. So this is similar to the bullet point about providing timely feedback. And I'll just share a story with you on this. I was talking with a friend who's an instructor, and I knew a few things about him. He was an adjunct teacher, and he had 3 courses that semester, so a full graduate course load, small family, and as a pastor. So I knew this guy has a lot going on. And it was that time in the semester, probably the last couple of weeks, where grading's all coming in, big assignments are coming in. And he didn't seem stressed at all. I asked him how he's doing. He's like, I'm fine. I was like, man, aren't you under just a pile of grading? And he said, no, I actually am not. I've got most of it done. And my eyes got really big. And I asked him, how did you do this? Because I talk with a lot of folks and that's not their response. They look haggard and tired and they're, they feel like a victim to grading. And he said, well, like I said before, I put it in my calendar. I've been working on it ahead of time as assignments came in because I knew some would come in early. Blocked out some good time last weekend to, knock out 80% of it. And I've got a couple late papers coming in, but really I'm pretty much done for the semester. And that conversation has always been really encouraging to me to be proactive and to get it into my calendar. And then number 3, note times in the term when you might be unavailable or have other demands that would be likely to mitigate your presence in the course. So let's say I was working with a friend who makes regular trips down to his home country of Haiti. And he lets his students know early in the term, hey, I'm going to be out this certain week and limited email access. And so in your discussion, just the expectation is for you guys to really kind of care for each other and to really challenge each other this week. My voice is I'm not going to be there. I wish I was, but I'm just not going to be. And then to remind them of that later. That way they don't think you're AWOL, because that's what students will think, is that you don't care. So talking with them about that ahead of time really, really helps.